new Death Stranding trailer didn't only give us a look at gameplay, it also outright confirmed a few fan theories, provided some clues to help us better understand its world, and raised some interesting new questions. Let's check it out. The most immediately striking thing about the trailer is the dialogue between Norman Reedus' character and a character we later learn is played by Léa Seydoux.
Sam Porter Bridges. The man who delivers.
We learned the name of Norman Reedus' character Sam in the Game Awards trailer from last year, but the new E3 trailer seems to confirm his full name as Sam Porter Bridges. That might not seem strange, but it is. He has Porter written on his uniform, which is easily interpreted as the name of his role as a transporter. He's a delivery man of some sort, and that's made very clear in this trailer. But it's the Bridges part that's most unusual. Up to this point, it's been easy to interpret Bridges as the name of some sort of government agency or regime due to its subtitle, the United Cities of America. But what if it is just the name of a person? I have a theory involving this photograph and this character revealed at the end of the trailer, but we'll get to that later. Back to the dialogue.
Tears. A chiral allergy.
It's really hard to hear what she's saying here, but it's most likely, quote, a chiral allergy. Chirality is a property seen across the sciences, used to refer to something that is not identical to its mirror image, like a human hand. We've seen the presence of these entities signaled so far by human hand imprints, and we also see Sam developing a rash on one side of his body when he comes in close contact with them. Later in the trailer, a man on the radio can also be heard saying this.
Sam, what's your status? Chiralium density is still increasing.
It's possible that these floating figures are called chirals, since Sam is trapped in a building with several of them outside, hence chiralium density increasing. While Sam has that robot on his back to alert him of their presence, the retractable spikes on Seydoux's jacket seem to be her signal that they're near. The spiky shoulder pads look very similar to ferrofluid, which could imply the beings have magnetic properties. Her earlier reference to tears and Sam's rash also seems to point towards humans having biological reactions to these creatures too. We see her character shedding tears after a close call with one of them. Sam is also seen crying in a previous trailer, but Kojima told us that was just because he was sad.
So, you have dooms, like me. What's your level?
This line implies that tears and the allergic reactions seen in Sam have something to do with a condition called dooms, which can be measured. Sam says he has the extinction factor, but implies that her level is much higher. She asks if he can see them, referring to the invisible creatures, and he says that he can only sense them. This could imply that a higher dooms level allows one to interpret these otherworldly entities in different ways, similar to how insight works in Bloodborne.
Wanna come work for me? Must be tough out here on your own.
I can't help you with that. I make deliveries. That's all.
The montage of gameplay kicks off with this official confirmation of Sam's role as a delivery man, but it also hints at Seydoux's character's role too. Later in the trailer, we see the back of her jacket, which says Fragile Express, handled with love, probably the name and tagline of the delivery company she works for. The sleek, black, triangular design of her outfit and umbrella feel very similar to the look of the hooded figure in a previous trailer, which makes me believe that if this isn't Mads Mikkelsen as previously speculated, it could be her. All three of them even do the shushing gesture to warn allies of danger. Sam's long trek through Death Stranding's gorgeous landscapes has a few neat details. Here you can see a circumzenithal arc, which is a meteorological phenomenon similar to a rainbow, where light refracts through ice crystals in the atmosphere instead of water. We saw the same thing in a previous trailer, which has so far felt like further evidence that Death Stranding's world is under major environmental distress. At one point, we also see Sam showering, but still wearing that handcuff we've seen on him before, like an ankle bracelet. It's possible Sam is indentured or a prisoner of some kind. Here we see him transporting a corpse, and here we see him heavily protected from the rain, which we know now is called Timefall. A drop of Timefall on Sam's hand earlier aged his skin rapidly, as we've seen it do to other life forms. But it isn't as simple as just making things die. Timefall, as its name suggests, fast forwards time. We see it causing plant life to not just die, but rapidly grow and mature before dying. But it's possible some characters are more vulnerable to the rain's effects than others. According to Seydoux's character,
a cryptobite a day keeps the timefall away.
The bug she eats seems to be the same kind we saw floating around Sam's body at the bottom of the Purgatorial Sea, and may grant temporary immunity to Timefall. But back to gameplay. Here we see Sam recovering from what appears to be a crash, indicating vehicles will be available. Here we see Sam almost drowning, but a life vest triggers as soon as his head is submerged. And here we get a first look at both a settlement of some kind and a possible weapon. Later, we join Sam stuck in a building surrounded by invisible creatures. The man on the radio tells him,
"Sam, if one of those things eats you, it'll trigger a void out. You'll come back, sure, but the surrounding area will still be a crater."
This void out he references is probably what we saw happen in the last trailer, which sent Sam into a purgatorial sea of some kind. These craters that form when you die, possibly when you have the extinction factor as Sam stated earlier, could leave permanent markings in the world that other players will be able to see. We know Death Stranding has online elements, and these craters lead me to believe that other players' deaths will have a major impact on your world. Last but certainly no less revelatory is the introduction of this character, played by Lisa Wagner.
You're too late. You still don't know who I am, do you?
This woman looks very similar to the one in Sam's photograph, which appears to have been taken in the Oval Office. Note the curtains and the American flag. Combined with the woman's dress suit, I'm led to believe Wagner's character is the President, President Bridges to be exact. Given the real age of the actress is older than the character depicted, I believe she may be Sam's mother and that we will see an older version of her at some point in the story. If Sam is a clone, it would make sense that he wouldn't remember his mother, or would have even aged quicker than her. And it would also explain why his last name is Bridges. The name of the agency or government he works for could just be the name of the person who runs it. That's it for my Death Stranding trailer analysis. If you noticed anything I left out or have a different take on my theories, please let me know in the comments. And for more coverage of Death Stranding and E3 2018, keep it right here on IGN.